Hello, welcome to Rachel Paints Poorly. My name is Rachel and I paint poorly. Today, we are going to create a floral arrangement based on one of my very favorite mangled masterpieces, concept art for Disney's 1950 classic, Cinderella. A blast from the past, if you will. Way back when, in November of 2020, I painted this piece after one of my very favorite artists, the great Mary Blair. A member of the California Watercolor Society, Mary's early art was often confused with that of her husband, fellow artist and society member Lee Blair. While the two were passionate about their art and about each other, life in 1938 America proved difficult. As the Great Depression worsened, Lee and Mary were forced to seek employment in the animation studios, which were still looking for artists. Walt Disney hired Lee in May of 1938. 2 years later, in May of 1940, Mary reluctantly joined Disney's character model department, painting watercolors for Dumbo and what would become Lady and the Tramp. Despite her initial hesitancy to work in what she called the animation cartoon field, it was with Disney that her signature style came alive, born during Walt's August 1941 Good Neighbor artists trip to Latin America. Noting her newfound spirit, Mary quickly became one of Walt's favorite artists. Her talents were put to the test with Walt's vision for a feature-length animated movie, Cinderella, the make-or-break gamble on which he bet the future of his company. Mary's cost-saving utilization of bursts of bold colors and minimal use of lines is found throughout the film. Her concept art was used in almost every department, including animation, ink and paint, layout, and editing. For this particular piece, Mary worked closely with the songwriters to create a scene that would convey falling in love. Cinderella and her prince are silhouetted against a backdrop of deep, vibrant blues and soft, warm pinks in a landscape of Grecian urns and garden foliage, a place of tranquil, romantic bliss. While Mary's piece beautifully conveys the progress of our lovers, from the luxurious warmth of the castle to the quiet seclusion of the garden, would it be possible to do so in another medium, say a floral arrangement? And now we are going to blast to a more recent past, Saturday, 29 April 2023, for it was over this weekend that the Columbus Museum of Art hosted Art in Bloom, a biannual event put on by the museum since 1996. Art in Bloom is, according to then Executive Director and CEO Nanette Macy-Hunis, quote, a wonderful weekend celebration in which floral artists, another form of art, are inspired by works in the museum collection so that floral design installation is in conversation either with the building or with a work of art. So it celebrates two forms of art together. Intriguing, no? While there was no one-size-fits-all approach to the interpretations, I observed some commonalities of various utilization by the 55 featured florists. Stands and containers, colors, and shapes. First, stands and containers. The stands ranged from merely functional to fully incorporated in the design, sometimes even including additional items invoking the original even further. Building on this concept, the containers were either neutral to such a degree as to be virtually unseen, or actively part of the overall composition. While using one or the other was more common, some compositions utilized both. Second, colors. Unlike stands and containers, the utilization of color was standard across the majority of the floral arrangements. From subtle cues to bold hues, the nature of paintings and floral arrangements being visual artistic mediums, this carrying over of color is an obvious choice. Indeed, for several works, the use of color, both natural and artificial, may have been the only choice. Third, shapes. Like colors, the various shapes found in the pieces are translated into shapes found in nature, such as foliage, flowers, and sticks. Overall compositions are shaped as well, from the quietly unassuming to the immediately obvious, while others are just plain cheeky. Why? Because this is art. Art in Bloom was overall a fun experience. We like art in general, and for the most part, we're decent amateur florists as well. My dad, an actual artist, is a dab hand at hardscaping, while my younger sister Hannah is also an actual artist whose talents carried over into floral arranging. Up in the floral ante, my mom and youngest sister, Twig, have even taken on 2 weddings. Twig's and that of a family friend, ranging from the basics to more involved creations. While the pros certainly won't be given a run for their money anytime soon, both weddings were very respectable showings. Did you notice I said, for the most part, we're decent amateur florists? Did you notice who I haven't mentioned yet? It's not that my floral arranging skills are terrible, it's just that my floral arranging skills are terrible. But when has the complete and utter lack of talent ever stopped us here on Rachel Paints Poorly? Never, I say! And so, without further ado, let's get started, shall we? We'll begin with the sketch. I really liked the arrangements designed on the diagonal, with similar-sized flowers forming the center of the composition and strategic use of bold color placement, something I think Mary Blair would have appreciated as well. I decided to center 2 white flowers after Cinderella and her prince, then have the pinks and blues grow out around them, while the black twigs and container echo the silhouetted foliage and the Grecian urn respectively. The idea for the feathers came from this piece, which incorporates feathers and tufts not found in the painting itself, but adds ancient pastoral, textural layers present on the sitter. Likewise, while there are no feathers present in the Cinderella piece, feathers do make an appearance throughout the movie, and their ability to add visual interest to both cinema and florals should be used whenever the opportunity arises. Seeing how my talent for live floral arrangements is severely lacking, we will be using artificial flowers. This turned out to be easier said than done, seeing how it is currently December, so many of the florals are all Christmas themed, but also because while there were seemingly no shortage of options, there also weren't that many options, somehow. At least, not options that fit my sketch. There's definitely an aspect of just rolling with it in the visual and creative arts, however, so roll with it we did. In the end, amassing the florals needed to craft a decent representation of my original vision for the piece. Nothing left to do but bust out the hot glue and go for it. The battle to create the floral arrangement itself might be won, but the installation war is not. I wanted to incorporate Cinderella's lost slipper into the overall composition, so I spruced up a thrift store find with some paint before putting everything together for a final reveal. Interestingly, the use of an outside accessory isn't unheard of for art in bloom, as this image from the 2021 event demonstrates. And there you have it, one surprisingly decent attempt at my own personal art in bloom. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, bye. Hey, baby. Hey, baby. Nice to see you today. You're happy to see me? Clearly. No, don't go in there. No. No, no, no.